we are going to learn about the different types of shape and size and also the number of cells which are present in different organisms. Children, if you can recall or if you know, you may know that on the earth there are millions of living organisms. Okay, we all know that cell is the basic structural unit of living organisms. All the living organisms are made up of cell, and that cell is responsible for all the functions of all the organs which are present in the living beings. We are able to breathe because of the cell. We are able to digest anything because of the cell. Now on the earth there are millions of organisms. All the organisms are of different shape, of different size. They have different organs. Okay, according to their organs, according to their shape, the number of cells also differ. For example, in humans there are billions and trillions of cells, but the number of cells in some small microorganisms may differ from that of animals, from that of humans. Okay, so let us study about some of them. Now, can you guess, if you can see here children, the first question which I want to ask you is that, can you guess the number of cells present in a tall tree or a huge animal like an elephant? Can you tell? A billion or million of cells. Okay, there are billions and millions of cells present inside animals, present inside tree or plant or even humans. In humans there are around trillions of cells. Okay, trillions of cells are running inside the human being which are performing all the functions. All the type of functions are carried out by those trillions of cells which are present in human body. For example, if you will see here, okay, in the human beings they have so many different types of tissues assigned for different functions. For example, there is different group of cells which is responsible for the functioning of lungs. There are different types of cells which are assigned different types of cell, group of cells which we call as tissue. We all know that group of cells is called as tissues. Okay, so one single cell is not responsible for the functioning of lungs. One single cell cannot do that. So similar type of lung cells will combine and they will form tissues, and then they will perform it. Different types of tissues, different types of cells are responsible for different types of function inside our body. There is muscle tissues which are responsible for the functioning of muscle. There are bone tissues which are responsible for the functioning of bones. So if you will see here, all these functions in the different organs are carried out by the cells. We have kidney, liver, heart, lungs, brain. They all are made up of cells. So there are so many cells inside our body. They are about trillions in numbers. If you will try to count them, you will notice that these number of cells are actually equivalent to the stars present in the Milky Way galaxy. You all know Milky Way galaxy is a huge group of stars. Okay, so there are even more cells present inside our body. They are so small in size. They are very minute in size that you cannot see them with your naked eyes, but they are responsible actually for all the functionings inside our body. Not only humans, I have just taken the example of humans, but all the plants, all the animals, from a small ant to a big elephant, they all have cells inside them. Not one, not two, but millions of trillions of cells are there inside their body which are functioning day and night to give them life. So here also you can see again that there is pancreas which is functioning because of the cells. Muscles, you can see that they are functioning because of the cells. Heart, blood, there are blood cells. Okay, your blood is not a liquid that you see, that is actually made up of small blood cells. So it is also made up of cell. Brain is made up of nerve cell. Your bone is made up of bone cell. Lungs, liver, kidney, sperm cells are also there, which is responsible for the reproduction. Okay, so there are so many cells inside our body. So we can say that there are multi cells inside the humans. Okay, so that is why humans are called as multicellular organism. Not only humans, all those organisms which have many cells, they are called as multicellular organisms. Okay, because they have many cells, so they are called as multicellular organisms. Now, do you know that there are, here I have taken the picture of blood cells. We can see here, this is, yes children, you can see here, this is a picture of nerve tissues. You see, you can see there are, these cells are nerve cells. Nerve cells. So this is a nerve cell, this is a nerve cell. These nerve cells combine and they form tissues, and which are responsible for the functioning of your brain. So we can say children that all the organisms, okay, which have more than one cell are called as multicellular organisms. Organisms which are made up of more than one cells are called multicellular organisms. Okay, now, but you will be surprised to know that children, there are few organisms which have only one single cell in them. Yes, there are small microorganisms which are unicellular. Uni means one. Uni means one. In their body they have one single cell which will perform all the functions, which will help in the digestion. That single cell which is responsible for the digestion, which is responsible for excretion, which is also responsible for the absorption of food, which is also responsible for the assimilation of food, which is also responsible for the removal of waste from the body, for sending signals. All the functions are performed by one single cell. So these organisms are amoeba, okay, paramecium, Cladomonas. So these are the few examples of organisms which are unicellular. Unicellular means inside their body they have one single cell. Here some of the unicellular organisms, see, this is amoeba. This is amoeba which lives in pond, which is basically found in pond, and eats the animals with the help of its feet. So this feet, these are the flexible feet which are known as pseudopodia. They are called as pseudopodia. So this amoeba take the food with the help of these false feet by changing the shape. Same way paramecium also take the food in this way. So let's define multicellular and unicellular organisms. So multicellular organisms, before we discuss the definition children, I will just show you one video, after which it will be very clear to you all that how amoeba functions. We all know that the functioning of multicellular organisms like human, animals or plants, because they have different cells which are responsible for the functioning of different roles. Okay, they are doing different roles. But what about these one single cell animals? Let us see the functioning of amoeba. I will be just showing you one video. See, I will be showing you the video which will tell you about the role of false feet in amoeba. So amoeba eats tiny plants and animals present in the pond where it lives. As you can see here, this is amoeba. It is exactly the same shape which I just saw you. So it has these pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia means false feet. Okay, false feet. So these are the feet actually, and they are false. Why they are false? Because they can change their shape. They are not fixed. Okay, and amoeba takes in food by extending arm-like structures called pseudopodia from any part of its body, since it is shapeless. Okay, now these pseudopodias are helpful for taking in the food. Now, when a food particle comes near the amoeba, then the amoeba produces two pseudopodia around the food particle and surrounds it. Okay. The two pseudopodia then join around the food particle and trap it in a food vacuole with a little water. As you can see here, the food vacuole contains digestive juices which break the food into nutrients. The nutrients from the food are directly absorbed by this body, and this is one single cell. It has no other cells. Now, and the undigested food is also simply thrown out of the body through a small hole or rupture anywhere in the cell. So, this is how children, the amoeba carry out its nutrition and excretion. Similarly, the absorption is also done with this way only. So basically one single cell, this is the one single cell which is carrying out all the functions. Okay, so these are unicellular organisms. Clear children? I hope children you have understood this. Now let's define unicellular and multicellular organisms. Let me do the slideshow. Okay. So children, I hope you all have understood that multicellular organisms are the organisms which have many cells, and unicellular organisms are the organisms which are made up of only one cell. You can take the screenshot. Organisms made up of many cells, multicellular, like tree, elephant, ant, small ant, big ant, rat, elephant. They all are multicellular. Organisms which have one cell like are called as unicellular, like amoeba and paramecium. Okay, I hope children you have understood today's class. In the next class we will talk about shape and size of the cells.